I got to sit front row at the Louis Vuitton show, and it was 2 people in my seat, but we made it happen. There was another lady in the seat, and she was this journalist from Beijing who was actually kind of cool. I was asking her all these like China questions, and she was just breaking it down for me. And but yeah, we were in the same seat, so we just split it up. And then next to us was supposed to be
split it up.
Son, at first.
You did cheek
She sat down, son. We almost did laps.
Yo,
Son, they gave us the same seat, bro. I didn't know what to do.
It's a long bench with a place specifically.
Oh, yeah, it's not a seat. It's like bleachers.
You said a seat?
No,
How you
bleachers.
split a seat?
But they just give the numbers. So I go and I see her sitting like close to the end, but I know my seat is the end.
Yeah.
So I like go to sit down, and usually when you go to sit down, like the person moves over a little bit.
Yeah.
She did not budge, bro.
Oh, really?
And I was like, God damn.
Great wall.
Just bodied me, bro.
Great wall, bro.
Yeah, like.
Nah, that's when you man spread. You like show what time
Yeah,
it is.
She already done did that, bro.
She did.
She was in position and she was not mobile. Like, and thank God, Dub, started like truffling and she showed her seat, same thing. So we just snuggled up. Other people start filling in. Tyra Banks comes, right? This is Tyra Banks. This is America's Top Model. This is like
Fashion
Sports
icon.
Illustrated, like as big as it fucking gets.
Absolute boss.
Tyra was right next to her. So it went me, her, Tyra, right? Me and her in the same seat, me and the Asian woman in the same seat, and Tyra. All these people had moved. There's no room for Tyra. Tyra comes up to these young people who are excited about fashion. This is Tyra fucking Banks, Sports Illustrated.
Yes.
The whole fucking thing. Goes, hey, my seat is right there. Can you guys slide over? They didn't even acknowledge the question was asked.
Wow.
This is Tyra fucking Banks.
Shit.
Bro.
That gotta feel bad, bro.
Next level.
Ooh.
Next level.
How did she respond?
I was ignoring too, so I didn't really. I was scared she was gonna ask me to sit down. The fuck am I supposed to do? So I didn't say anything, but no. And then they put her in a different.
Well, she
place.
actually handled it well. Like she wasn't a
cool
diva
about
about
it.
it. She was like, oh, okay, this seems kind of weird, and then kind of just like waited for someone to come, and then they put her right behind.
Yeah.
But like it worked out. But she actually handled herself.
I thought that she was gonna have a meltdown.
Yeah.
Cause like it's disrespectful. Like your seat's right there.
She was assigned a seat, and then
and
she
the
shows
dude
up.
sitting right next was supposed to be 4 seats down, but he was pushed down from his seat, and so on and so forth.
Just because it's a bench, everyone just slides in. They probably had like a
Who the
plus
hell
one.
is this Asian journalist lady? Like,
Yo, she is a boss, bro.
Yeah.
Shorty's a boss. Showed up in like a hoodie and sweats.
Oh, that's fire.
She was dressed like Shifty.
This is
And then they were like, yo, she told me, she's like, sometimes they give me a bag so I don't look so homeless. Like, and I started asking her shit. I was like, yo, can you tell me like what's the deal right now with like China? She goes, yo, in China right now, like 90% of people got COVID. I go, what? And it was like, yo, in China, the whole country started protesting the lockdown.
And they all just gave each other COVID protesting.
And they
That's
literally got in the streets, and then the country basically, and this is the first time in 100 years, the country has acquiesced to like the people's demands. Because usually it's like clap. But so many people are out there, so the country was like, fine, you got it. Now I was like, but weren't people vaccinated? And she goes, yeah, but like China's got an ego, so we only let people get the Chinese one, and it was missing a few stitches, you know what I mean? Like the Chinese.
it's just duck sauce, bro. It was not a vaccine. It was nothing. It was literally just like fucking water. I don't even think it did anything.
She said it wasn't working, so like 90% of the people got that shit. And she was quick to be like, I've been here for 6 months, don't worry. And I was like, shorty, I'm American. Like, COVID cancan't kill me no more.
Yeah, he was already in medical gear, bro. He was dressed like this when he pulled up.
Let's go.
He didn't even
She
care.
knew what time it was.
those are flies.
They good, right?
Actually, shout out Mischief. They made those.
Mischief gave me these.
Son, that was
Shout
a
out to
fly, yo.
But I asked her and I was like, yo, can I ask you a question? Like, what happened to Jack Ma? Because you heard about the billionaire dude who's like went ghost for 3 months and then he came back and whatever. And this is what she said. She's like, in America, money buys power. So if you got money, you can buy influence, you can do whatever, you can buy, senators, you can get whatever you want with money. She goes, in China, power controls the money. So Jack had a person in government. So government controls the people with the money. Jack had a person in government who essentially was his protector. And that person died.
Oh.
And he didn't have a relationship with Xi Jinping like that. And Xi Jinping was like, is this guy trying to come from my spot? We need to set a precedent. So it was really interesting. Whereas in America, it's like, all right, the president's out in 4 years. We'll put the next one in and dump $100 million in their campaign, whatever. But it was a really cool Like, what?
That's how you know you don't give a shit about fashion.
What?
You're sitting front row at the biggest fashion show in the world, sitting
Like,
next to a
what's up with
journalist.
these Chinese billionaires?
Like, where are they going?
He's asking the important questions.
So what did they do? Where he was just like, you're gonna take a time out for 3 months, or they like took him somewhere?
I think that they basically were like, yo, don't fuck with politics at all. Because maybe there were some rumblings that he might be interested in getting involved in politics. And they basically let you know, like, there's a difference. Like, you can be a little billionaire if you want, but you know who daddy is.
Yeah.
And your daddy's gone, so you're gonna act right and not do anything to undermine my power. And maybe that 3 months was
My house, my rules. Daddy didn't say my house, my rules.
Facts, though.
Yeah.
But kind of cool, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it's a more logical way to maintain power than the American way.
Oh, 100%.
Which is once you get money, you start coming for me.
Yep.
If you want to maintain power, the best thing to do is I'm gonna let you have your money. You're gonna shut the fuck up.
Yep. And clip it before they get in a position where they could take you out.
Yeah.
And then she said a wild thing. Then we get back to the fashion, but she was like, how, like, what is that thing called? Alibaba?
Yeah.
So what she said about how Alibaba works is like, Alibaba is kind of almost like their Amazon, if you will. Basically, it connects like consumers with the people who have the goods to sell. A lot of times they're like factories, right? But she's like, what Alibaba really is just this place to hold the money. So in other words, when you pay for something, that money doesn't get released to the person who's making it at the factory until you get your product. So at any point in time, Alibaba is holding like an entire first world country's like yearly, GDP.
Yeah.
At any point in time. So that type of influence you have when you're holding that kind of money, and then you can invest that money in different places, you're basically a gigantic country.
Yeah.
And that's why I think Jack Ma was one of the people who was, higher up in Alibaba.
I think he was the founder.
He was the founder, creator. So that's why Xi Jinping or whatever had to be like, listen, you need to know who you work for.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was kind of cool, like talking to someone who's actually from there, because everything that we get on, the West is so biased.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even know that there were millions of Chinese people protesting the lockdowns. Did y'all see that?
Yeah,
oh, you did hear? Yeah. Okay.
But little things though, considering like how disproportionate the fucking protests were. This is like millions of people protesting. If there's a protest of of that size and any, like we heard about the fucking France protest nonstop.
Yeah.
And that was like
or Iran. We've heard about the Iran protests nonstop, and I felt like the coverage on China was minimal, despite the fact that it seems like in the news they like to play up the fact that we're beefing with China.
Yeah.
So now I'm skeptical of the beef with China.
Yeah, or there's Chinese money going to these corporations we don't know about. Like if they own part of Reddit, they own fucking TikTok, like you're not gonna get these things popping up at the same rate.
Because I actually feel like we kiss China's ass a lot on a political level.
That shit made me feel like we really do.
So I don't read it as we have beef with China. I read it as we are threatened by China and we're cozying up to them in a way that doesn't feel American, for lack of a better way to put it.
Yeah, just now realizing this shit, right?
No,
I guess it's a sleeper cell, bro.
No, but like, I guess what I'm saying is usually you take advantage of these moments. For example, we're beefing with Iran, right? So when there's unrest in Iran, we put the gas on it, right? Like and I'm like, why aren't we putting the gas on the fact that China is...
You can't piss off daddy.
Yo, it feels like that.
Son, it
Don't
really
say that,
son,
bro.
it's facts.
That grossed me out when you said that.
Nah, that's
Shout out
fucked
to
up.
my Chinese.
You changed once you start being a WTF or whatever. Yo, he changed.
That
right?
building changed it.
They knocked $1,000 off of rent, and this motherfucker is bowing and shit when he walks in.
John
Like,
Cena, bro.
come on, you really are John Cena, bro.
Hey, I don't care.
Yeah.
All day. What's up?